I've been receiving a lot of messages in my inbox where people are asking what Orals Med Family entails. So because there are so many and I can't respond to all of you adequately, let me record a video explaining it very quickly so that you can just understand what it entails. Most of you have been asking what is the book about, how will it benefit you, and why the price. So I'll just show you quickly why the price and what it's about. So it's Orals Med Familia, 150 pages, but at the moment angalia hapa chini ni 214. So umeona ni one of 214. This is because last year's book was 150 pages, but because I needed to update it, it is now 214 pages. Okay, yeah, nimeensure nimeinclude course outline kwa hii, nimeensure ya hii mwaka, nimeensure nimeupdate maswali pia zikuwe the most recent and the most relevant, so that mtu anatumia hii mwaka inaweza msaidia. Sawa, so that's the reason. Aya, so it has everything contained in the cover, upper marking scheme, but I'll show you kwa table of contents here. Okay, then there's this certificate of registration of copyright work. It's a copyrighted book, so it's original, registered under one of my colleagues' name. Then table of contents. So this is where now I can expound quickly about what it entails, the book basically. So there's the synopsis. Synopsis is just a short summary of what everything entails. So there's the introduction, why passing the oral exams is important. So hapa na kuexplainia vizuri mbona ni important sana. Some people tend to take it for granted. Some people tend to wait for the last 1 week to read for it, not understanding that this oral exam is very crucial. So I'll explain to you in this book and even in my classes, Kingmaker classes, why this passing oral exam is very important with the highest marks. Then lastly, the synopsis. Then chapter 1 is the nature of oral exams. Here I'll teach you about the nature. I'll be helping you to psychologically understand as a new student what oral exams entails. So unaona part A nimesema what are oral exams. Part B, what happens in the oral exam room. So I'll give you a visual description, step by step description of when you enter the exam room, what happens. Part C is what do examiners want to test in oral exams. So you have to understand in your mind so that ukienda kurevise, ukienda kusoma hiyo book yako, ukienda hata usome hii book, unajua examiners wanauliza this type of questions. So this is what they are looking for. Usiende tu usome kila kitu juu si kila kitu inakuja. Then part D, what references. This now I tell you how to detect what examiners ask. Then part E, how examiners frame oral questions. So basically how they bring it. Unajua there's what you read, then there's what they ask. So I show you what they ask so that ukienda kusoma usisome tu kila kitu alafu waulize in a different way ushindwe kujibu. So that is chapter 1. Chapter 1 is just the psychological aspect of oral exams. I teach you. Chapter 2 is oral exam marking scheme. I'll show you the marking scheme they use to mark oral exams with. Then there's analysis. So utapata kwa marking scheme wanaandika kitu kama content, presentation, wanapeana 7 marks, 5 marks. So kwa analysis I'll analyze in depth. Nikwambie presentation ni about hii na hii na hii na hii na hii. I'll list to you everything that lecturers will expect hapo kwa presentation, ndio upate hiyo maximum marks. Utapata kitu kama content, nitakwambia venye unafaa uput content yako ndio upate hiyo maximum marks up. So hapo ndo analysis inakujia. Then the marking scheme tips and tricks you must know before sitting the orals. So this is whereby now I tell you this is the marking scheme, this is how it's analyzed, then now I give you the tips and tricks on how you can use the analysis to pass and get as many marks as possible from the marking scheme. That's chapter 2. Now chapter 3 I tell you about the oral examination day. What happens on that day? How do you prepare for that day? What calendar should you use when you're preparing or reading for that day? Step by step example on how to behave in front of that panel. What to do a day before the orals, what to do while you're waiting to go to the oral exam. I'll show you all of that. So that is in chapter 3. Now chapter 4 I focus on the content. Now this is the most crucial part. Hizi zote ni crucial lakini this is the most crucial part, the content. I'll show you the petty exam questions and answers they ask in orals. I'll show you the 10 constitutional articles you have to cram or at least understand, because they are going to be very important for you. I'm going to show you the case precedents that they ask, very common. Then I'll show you the definition questions and answers. These are questions and answers which they ask you to define. I'll show you the most common yenye wanaulizanga mtu, we define this, differentiate between this and this. I'll teach you that. Then lastly, okay, part F is commonly repeated orals questions and answers. I'll show you that. It's something they ask almost everyone. You see, utapata kitu ka judicial review, wanaweza uliza kila mtu, subjudice and what have you. But I'll show you hapo kwa commonly repeated oral questions and answers. Then lastly, I'll teach you the legal concept you must understand per unit. Sasa hapa I've gone to every unit, all the 9 units. Nime separate a few legal concepts that you must understand in every topic for every unit. So that is part F. Then that part G. So part G nimeandika civil litigation. Then I've written 6 topics. Kwa hizi 6 topics nime break down all legal concepts unafaa uelewe from hizo topics in very short words, so that ukiingia exam room na upate lecturer mwenye huku expect unajua concept zote. Then lastly, chapter 5 is the lecturers question and answers, orals, exams, reference sheet. Sasa hapa nakupea no, this part chapter 5 now is also chapter 4 and 5 is the most crucial parts. These are now the most, unaona hiyo ndo ina out of 20 pages, between 20 to 120, the 100 pages ni content. So hapa sasa ndo na narrow down kwa kila kitu yenye itakuja, all the questions that can possibly come. So basically that is just a summary of what this book entails. So in case you want to acquire it, in case you want to buy it, come to my inbox, request for it. I'll give you the procedure and you can access it. I'll also be teaching this book in my class in depth, so it's better you have the book, then when I begin the classes you have a reference point. Ndo time ya orals ikikaribia, unashika tu hii book, unaisoma, unaielewa vizuri. Kama unalemwa na kitu unaniuliza. So yes, that is all for today. This is the Kingmaker. I'm still recruiting new members. My classes begin on Monday, 1st May. I'll be going through this book and the project workbook. Thank you, and all the best in your preparation, your projects, and your orals exam.